I'm Sal Powell. I am raising funds and awareness for Nerve Connection Foundation, and I'm aiming to be the first Australian to run Racing the Planet Grand Slam Plus 5 Desert Series. So the Grand Slam Plus consists of 5 races. Each race is 250 kilometres across a desert, fully self-supported, carrying everything that you need for the week. Race 1 was Namibia, Race 2 was Gobi in Mongolia, Race 3 Jordan, Race 4 Antarctica. We have 1 race to go. Okay, so I've run a few marathons and then decided it was time to head into the trails to get off the road. I was at Mount Cootha with a friend and met a friend of hers who was training for Gobi Ultra Marathon, which sounded really interesting. I went home, I signed up for a 250 kilometre self-supported race in the Gobi Desert, and then read more into Racing the Planet and its series. And when I discovered that no Australian has done the Grand Slam Plus 5 Deserts, I thought I would like to do that. I signed up, but the problem was the first race was in 3 weeks' time. So preparation was fairly minimal. It was sign, book, go. And that's where this whole crazy journey started. So I called a friend and I said, is this crazy? And she said, absolutely not, go for it. At that point, I thought, if I'm going to do this over the next 12 months, someone else needs to get something out of it. So 3 weeks out, I called Nerve Connection, explained what I wanted to do, and asked if they'd like to come on board and could we work together over this next 12-month period. They were incredibly supportive and enthusiastic and continue to be so. At previous Nerve Connection Foundation events that I'd been to, the thing that really had an impact on me was not only the medical neurologists that were speaking and their passion, but the patients that spoke. These people had such passion and determination to help find a cure for diseases, horrible diseases that they have. And it's most likely that these cures won't be found in their lifetime while they're alive, that they'll benefit from. So to have that passion to find a cure for people coming behind them, that's pretty inspiring. Their outlook on life is still so positive despite having a disease that stops them from walking and talking and taking care of themselves, and that they're incredible. For me, the highlight day of Antarctica was day 4, just the most spectacular scenery I could ever hope to see. It was about a 4.2 kilometre loop. We had been going for about 9 hours. It got to the last loop and my legs were not doing what my head was telling them to do. And a lot of it was fall over, stand up, fall over, stand up. But you just had to keep going. And I got to the finish start line and they said, you're the last person, you have the chance to do another loop, which meant I got to run further than everybody else. The one time in this whole event, I did not want to keep going. I wanted to stop. I wanted them to tell me I wasn't going to go another loop. But in that moment, not only did I realise I wouldn't have the chance to come back here again, but there was no way I was going to say no to having another opportunity to do another lap when the people that I'm raising funds and awareness for would not have that opportunity. So that's what straight away gave me the motivation to do another lap. And I'm very glad I got an extra 4 kilometres. At this point in this adventure, I've run 4 deserts already, the first being Namibia, which had its challenge of 57-degree days, sunburn, dehydration, and total physical exhaustion. Gobi had the challenge of horrific blisters that every time my foot hit the ground, it was like someone was shoving a knife into my feet. And then Jordan was relentless, and that's the word that I used the entire race. Was it just kept going. It had heat, it had sand, it had mountains, it had rocks, and it was the longest long march. So that had its challenge, with Antarctica then presenting a whole new set of challenges, mainly mental and physical. Now with 1 race to go, being Atacama in Chile, we've got altitude. So I may not have the -20 of Antarctica, but I've still got the heat. We have one race to go. There is still time for you to donate and support Nerve Connection Foundation and the wonderful work that they do in finding a cure for these terrible diseases of muscles and nerves. Grants from the foundation allow highly skilled, passionate people to continue to conduct scientific research to find a cure for these horrendous diseases that cause muscle weakness and disability. It's the direct targeting of the funding that allows them to do that. But more so, it's the people that you meet. I've met some incredible people, one person in particular that 6 months prior to being on a clinical trial could only walk 100 metres before they had muscle weakness and could not walk. Being on the trial, we went out to dinner and they walked 3 kilometres to get to dinner. So that's incredibly powerful when, as a patient and a person, you can see the direct results that these clinical trials are having. Thank you for your support so far. We have one race to go. There is still time for you to donate and support Nerve Connection Foundation and the wonderful work that they do in finding a cure for these terrible diseases of muscles and nerves. Please give generously and share this video so we can continue to raise awareness and find a cure for these debilitating diseases. If you'd like to see more from the races I've done so far or follow along with the last leg of Atacama, I'd love you to follow at Sal Run on Instagram, and I hope you enjoy this last leg.